Yeah.
All right, here we are. Okay.
Yeah. So, Barrie, I wanted us to record this because we were having such a great discussion, and I feel like other women would benefit from hearing what we're talking about. So, if you don't mind me sharing we were talking about interviewing other women who we'd like to talk to, and there was a particular woman, very powerful leader, that you said, I'd like to interview her, but I can't imagine that happening.
Right, exactly. And then you said, well, just start imagining it. And then I said, that is really so important. I love that. And then I started, then I talked about this book that I'm writing about, kind of like chucking the good girl part of ourselves in service of our greatness. But anyway, I started to, what did I start to say? Oh, there's prayers in the beginning of the book. And one of them is a prayer I wrote myself. And in the prayer to God the Mother, I asked that she help me to imagine beyond anything I could imagine myself, to go beyond my own imagination, to open up so I could see things that I couldn't imagine on my own. And that was what you were just encouraging me to do here. And then we were saying about how significant it is to all of us to be able to just start imagining, right? Just start it. Just let it go and just let the imagination go.
Yeah, I think it's going back to almost having a childlike wonder. You know, kids imagine all sorts of things. And then I think it's we as adults who kind of take that away from them because we tell them that's not realistic or that's not possible. Mm-hmm. But what if instead we encourage them, and even now encourage ourselves, to imagine what we previously thought was unimaginable or impossible, and just sit with what that might feel like, look like, how we would experience that. Because I think in that way we can attract those things to us, and they become possible when we can imagine it.
And when you said just imagine it, it was like flicking a switch. All of a sudden, I was like, okay, I can imagine it. And I could imagine, you and I talking with her on one of these, Zoom calls.
Yeah.
And I could imagine asking the person that I know who knows her, to make the connection. So it just kind of opened things up. Just start imagining.
Yeah. Now, Barrie, I want to encourage you, if you feel comfortable, to even say the name of this person we were talking about interviewing, because we don't know who will see this little conversation that we're having and who might forward it to her. And
so you're saying, Barrie, be bold. Be bold.
Be bold.
Be bold.
And imaginative, Barrie.
Wonderful. So her name is Indra, I think she says Indra Noy, and she was the CEO of PepsiCo. And I have great admiration for her. I've read about her. I've been following her for a long time, like when she was being considered a CEO. So I have a lot of questions I'd like to ask her.
Awesome. So I hope that she sees this and is open to having a conversation with us or having you interview her, because now you can imagine it, right?
It's out there now. Now it's beyond the imagination. It's actually out there in the whatever it's called out there, the hemisphere, whatever. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes. I think that is so awesome. And I think that there will be so much available to us as leaders and as women if we would just imagine it. Whatever it is, whatever you desire. It's kind of like I shared earlier, normally when we're doing something new or we're putting ourselves out there, our minds will often bring us our fears, our worries, the what if it doesn't go as planned. But we fail sometimes to think of it the other way. What if it goes much better than planned?
Right,
what if we imagine ourselves being wildly successful instead of the other way around? What might that open up for us if we could just do that more often?
Right. It would certainly shift us out of stress into excitement, right? That's I think that our desires are often divinely driven. I think they are reflections of our soul's longings. And so I think I often think we need to take them more seriously than we often do. So anyway, those desires, as wild as they may seem, are part of this imagination piece that we're talking about, bringing them to the imagination and allowing them to be, I guess, just allowing them to be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that they are part of the divine and maybe even what is intended for us.
Exactly, Lisa. Yeah, for sure.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is good stuff. Wonderful.